All right. On the previous slide, you should have seen the following. Reading math. The symbol double lines means is parallel to. So L with the double lines M means line L is parallel to line M. I state that right here because right before we go to prove the same side interior angles theorem, you're going to see given M parallel to N, prove that angles 4 and 5 are supplementary. So here we're completing a proof of the same side interior angles theorem. Now, in question number 12, which is the last section, section 4 that we're going to be covering today, I ask that you fill in the appropriate pieces. It's walked you through the proof and it wants you to kind of state the reasonings or state the statements depending on what's missing in our proof, in our 2-column proof. So complete the following proof of the same side interior angles theorem. And then it states that we're given M is parallel to N, and we're trying to prove 4 and 5, both the angles, are supplementary to one another. So go ahead and take the next 5 minutes to work through the missing pieces of the proof of the same side interior angles theorem. All right, go ahead, pause your videos. As you can see, the answer to question number 12 has now been provided for us. You can see that I always start with my given. It started off with M parallel to N. Well, that's what they told us from the beginning. They said angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. Recall that came from the angle corresponding angle postulate. Remember, because that was a postulate, I didn't have to prove that in any way. I can just use it without having to prove it. Now, it says because these are congruent, I can now state that they're equal to each other. The measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 5, and that's by definition of congruent angles. Here in step number 4, they say that the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 4, these two angles, equal 180 because that's the linear pair postulate. Now again, postulates don't have to be proven, but linear pair just says that two angles that are linear to one another sum up to 180 degrees. Okay? Well, remember I already said that angle 1 and angle 5 were equal to each other. So notice what happened here in step 5. Angle 5 plus angle 4 equals 180 because we substituted in the 5 for 1 using the substitution property. Well, if they sum up to 180, that means that those angles are supplementary. And that's based on the definition of supplementary angles. Now, recall, what was I being asked to prove? I was asked to prove 4 and 5 are supplementary. So notice that I always start with my given. I always end with what they are trying to get me to prove. On to your final debriefing question.